Lan. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm in cold Pennsylvania. Yeah. We will have an extended Q&A session, Ashrit. So I'm just going to have to work. I'm in we'll have to hold your question till the end of the presentation. Okay. Love to hear your question. Just hold your thought there. I'll finish up my presentation and kind of get it. Cool, Ashrit. Is that acceptable to you? Right? Oh, South Jersey. I used to live in South Jersey. Okay, almost there. Okay, so we're going to get started. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to make it worth your while. So hang in there. This is all about getting in the top 25 colleges. What does it take to get in? Okay, so grades and test scores are just going to make colleges notice you, but it's the extracurricular activities that is actually going to cinch your acceptance and scholarships, right? And I'm going to show you the exact blueprint that I use for my students who got a tremendous success. So it's going to be a very, very interesting presentation. And yes, it's not going to be like 5 slides. My husband kind of makes fun of me. I have a lot of slides because it's not a very easy topic to discuss and finish off in 5 slides, right? So let's get started. I know that your time is valuable. It's Sunday evening and you've got to get ready for school and work tomorrow. So let's get started. Today is day 1 of the Passion Project 3-day workshop. Okay, who we are and why we are here. Okay, this is me. I'm Coach Joe. I'm a TEDx speaker and a coach. I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach. I'm also a positive psychology coach, executive functioning skills coach, which is the prefrontal cortex of the brain. I'm a certified pranic healer and a meditation instructor, and I'm a college counselor from UC Berkeley. My whole team, we are college and college counselors from UC Berkeley and UC Irvine. Okay. I'm an immigrant and I studied in India. I was very frustrated with the lack of clarity when my older son was applying, which was about 6 or 7 years back. We didn't have all these WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, and all that to get information. And I was like, why is this so complicated? I quit my corporate job where I had worked for about 25 years to do this full time. So fast forward, it's been like 6 years since I started this. I've put so many students into top 25 colleges, students with learning disabilities, all kinds of students into wonderful colleges and scholarships. And that's where I want to share my approach. I'm also a TEDx speaker. I'm just trying to copy the video URL. You can watch it a little later. So I've trademarked this concept called the third parent approach, and take a moment to watch it. So I believe that teens have their mom and dad, and they have us. So we incorporated a lot of empathy and nurturing into our counseling. And you're here to learn how to build an undeniable tier 1 extracurricular activity, which will help you land in the top 25 colleges. So you're going to see the blueprint as to what Stanford is looking for, MIT is looking for, and what is our mission. And our goal essentially is to turn a cause area into measurable, tangible, marketable outcome that guarantees your student to stand out. And that's what you're going to learn in this 3 days. Okay. And our success, our students have gotten into Stanford, UPenn, MIT, Cornell, Harvard, Yale, U Chicago, Columbia, Carnegie Mellon, just about every colleges that you can think about. And mostly our students win a lot of scholarship. My students have won over 15 million in total. On an average, a student wins about anywhere from 500,000 to 800,000 scholarship in one year. One particular student will win. That's the amount of scholarships that we get for our students. If the student is exceptional, then the colleges need to be knocking at your door with a lot of scholarship and not the other way around. And I'm going to show you precisely the formula to do that. Okay. And so which of the top 25 colleges is your dream school? Anybody wants to share? What is your dream school? Anyone? What is your dream school? Wonderful, Harvard. Fantastic. Rice. Okay, we just had a student recently get into Rice. Wonderful. What else? Penn, UPenn, Duke, MIT, Cornell. Of course, Cornell is very good. University of Michigan. My younger son studies in UMich. He's in the LSA honors program, doing political science out there. William and Mary, Emory, Brown. Wonderful, wonderful. So it's fantastic. And I'm going to show you exactly how to go about it. Excellent. So let's keep the engagement going and we'll get there. Okay, I'm going to have an extensive Q&A session, right, to get it done. So this is your 72-hour transformation. It's a 3-day roadmap. So day one, we're going to decode what highly selective admissions are looking for and how to find your gap. Right? That's it. You've got to find a gap or a problem that a student wants to work. Then tomorrow, you're going to see the case study of successful students, their projects and everything. And then day 3 is when you're going to learn how to build that tier 1 project. Okay, so any questions, please put them in the chat. This is something that you're not going to learn or read it on Google. Okay, so how does the admission work? So this different steps that happens in an admission process. So an application is received. There's a regional admission officer. I'm in Pennsylvania. So for example, Duke, somebody put in Duke. So there is a regional admission officer of Duke residing in Pennsylvania. This person works for Duke, but is a regional admission officer. So they are like recruiters. They're trying to get students from all over the country, right? And we don't know what the rubric is. They are given at the beginning of the year as to this is how our class of, for example, 2026 is going to look like, right? So based on that, they get students and they are going to pitch students to the admissions committee. I'm going to show you that, how they pitch, and then the admissions committee is going to vote. And when they vote, it's acceptance, denial, or waitlist. So the regional admission officer has got to fight for the student, right? Has got to be the advocate for the student. And that's what I tell my students is build a profile so that the regional admission officer can fight for you. Okay, is that clear? Because I'm going to explain it deeply. So from the admissions officer to the committee, how does that work? So first there's a reader, right? The admission officer gets an applicant like from Downingtown. I'm in Downingtown, for example. It's in Pennsylvania. So Duke, the regional admission officer, when you submit it in Common App, then the regional admission officer of Pennsylvania is going to get it because we are in Pennsylvania, has 8 minutes, just 8 minutes to look over the complete PDF of in the Common App. Right? So entire thing, you're a PDF, they get only 8 minutes. So what are they looking for? They're looking for the floor. Floor is, are they academically qualified? Do you meet the cutoff? Duke has a 35, I'm sorry, is it 34 or 35? I've forgotten in ACT, 1550, GPA and everything. So that is the floor. And they're going to check if the student has a ceiling or a spike, right? So that's the first filter, is the reader. Then after it passes the filter, the admission officer becomes the student's advocate, will take the PDF and has to pitch to the committee saying, hey, look at this kid is from Downingtown School District. He or she has that. The admission officer has 90 seconds to pitch to the committee, right? So, oh, the student built a teen suicide prevention walk in Harrisburg. That's so amazing. That's so cool. That's so unique. We need to get this student into Duke. Right? So I'm just giving you an example, right? Or it could be somebody from Nebraska saying, hey, we need geographical diversity in Duke. We've got to get this student from Nebraska. Or there will be a swim coach who would have told these admission officers, oh, I'm building a swim team. Can you get me some swim candidates? Right? So that's how it's going to work. Right? So it's pitching. They have to pitch the students or fight for the student in the committee. Right? And then the committee votes. Right? Why should the committee vote? Why should the committee pick your students or you? So they're going to ask the question, what does the student bring to a campus that no one else does? Right? What's so unique about this XYZ kid? He's a teen suicide prevention advocate, but why? Why does it matter? Oh, he conducted a march in Harrisburg's bridge and 200 people showed up and he got a lot of news coverage and everything. So they're looking for that unique profile based on passion and social impact. right? So if the admission officer cannot market you or your student or a spike in one sentence and pitch to the committee, you've lost. You've become invisible. The student is going to go into the wait list. Get it? So this is how it works, the 3 steps, right? Any questions about this, please put it in the chat, because you've got to understand why it's so important to build that top profile, that lands you in Harvard, in Stanford, in Duke, and all these highly selective colleges. It comes down to that. Comes down to that one sentence that your admission officer can describe about you or the student to the admissions committee. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a test. If the admission officer has 6 seconds to pitch you today, what would be the headline? Okay, what should the headline be? Come on, let's go. Let's look at this. Let's do this assignment. So how should an admission officer describe the student? Anyone? Any parent? Any student out here? Okay, one-liner. One-liner? Anybody? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay, that can be a homework. And then there's this thing about finding the admissions officer. It's regional, right? So it depends on the region that you are in, right? For Pennsylvania, it would be somebody. For New Jersey, it could be somebody. It's regional admission officer. So if your school is in that particular region, so there is one regional admission officer, the one who never gives up. That's pretty good. Very nice. Very nice. Keep the headlines going, the titles. That's wonderful. So are we clear? Are we clear? Because started Red Cross and 2nd year of leukemia. Okay, that's not a tagline, sweetheart. It's just a list of activities. We need a headline that the admission officer is going to pitch to the committee. It says, let a walk out of 300 students to bring awareness to IC in Harris County. That's pretty good. Wonderful. Wonderful. We're seeing some nice taglines out here. So we are clear. I'm just going to move on. Any questions, please put them in the chat. So this is it. Are we clear about the 3 steps? Fantastic. Okay. And so what is each school looking for? Okay, I'm just going to break it down into each of the schools. I'm just going to bring in the IVs on Stanford as to what they're looking for. Okay, so Stanford, you've got to be a nerd. Okay, a nerd has no bad connotation to it. Very math heavy. Stanford is looking for math heavy kids. And I could tell you, my students who've gotten in have been like very, very intense in research, and they have a lot of critical thinking skills and everything. They're looking for a rare intellectual quality. Okay, and it's very important that you cannot fake it. You get it? And it has to show in your activity, right? You cannot say, oh, I'm very intelligent. I mean, it needs to be shown in an activity that is measurable and quantifiable, right? And they are looking for kids who really kind of don't fit the mold. They are like obsessed with their passion. And I'm going to show you an example about it, okay? So this is Dia Patel. Okay, I'm just going to quickly show you who got into Stanford. And I'm going to tell you what exactly was her passion project. Okay, now this is Dia. She got into Stanford and other BSMD programs. Now, Dia, although she's academically superb, she's very passionate about mindfulness in teens and seniors with music and meditation. She's a yoga instructor and a music student as well. And she conducts wellness for teens and seniors. But look at her leadership achievement. She had a lot of research that she did. One of them was with us, and the rest was from Duke and everything. She conducted events for teens and seniors. Okay, and look at all the events that she has conducted. Now, this is a Stanford kid. Got it? The intellectual nerd. Okay, Stanford loves research. Stanford loves math. Stanford loves students who show the intellectual curiosity to solve a problem. Okay. Next is MIT. Okay, MIT's motto is mens et manus, which is mind and hand. They're looking for more ambidextrous and intelligent kids. They're actually looking for builders, right? And they actually care. They don't care about like club titles or anything, right? They are looking for students who've gotten into MIT. They are like quite brilliant when it comes to like Math Olympiad, AMC, AMIE, and all those things. Who are builders, like built a robot or an app or those nerdy kinds who will spend hours together to solve a problem, right? So they're looking for teens. I'm sorry, they're looking for students who are okay to kind of fail, but who are builders, right? So that is MIT. Okay, next is Harvard. Harvard is looking for advocacy, students who are very, very strong advocates, who are like future thinking. They want to solve a problem, but they've come up with a solution with a tangible outcome, right? And they build projects, right? So what is you have a problem, which is the cause area, and the outcome of the problem is your solution, which is a passion project, right? So they are ones who build like community projects and projects that solve a problem in the community, right? So that is Harvard. They're looking for advocates, okay, for Harvard, okay. And next is Yale and Brown. They need more right brain, which is like more creativity, like math, literature, writing, poetry. Yale loves kids who are into poetry, okay? And they're looking for uncommon extracurricular activities, something that is like rather unique and atypical. Got it? Something that doesn't fit in, okay? Like combining two things that you have no business combining. You achieve that, you will get into Yale and Brown, right? So that's how it is. Like an example is like combining computer science with ancient history or art. I'm just giving you examples, but you're kind of the artsy kind, a little bit of right brain. You're an author, you've published a book, you love poetry, you like music, you love dance. Along with that, I had a student who was pursuing music as well as a STEM field, right? So they're looking for a creative a student as well, who's like, again, it's like, oh, you cannot say I'm a singer, right? You need to have had that kind of events and other things that show that you've actually done it, right? And Georgetown. I've had a couple of students last year. Also, I got a student into Georgetown the year before as well. They are very service minded, and again, community service. They are like pioneers, they are like change makers, right? I had a student who got into Georgetown, and she had composted 300,000 pounds of food waste in her school district. Okay, she was like a climate advocate, right? So that is Georgetown. They want to see service. They want to see some service, some problem that you're solving for the community, right? A real world problem that you've solved, a project, right? So every one of these IVs need a student who's done a project that is beyond the four walls of the classroom. Okay, if I asked you what's your best activity and you kind of said HOSA or like DECA, you've lost the game. It's not like I'm not against school clubs, but they don't make tier one activities out of school clubs. You've got to get out of the four walls of the classroom to kind of build a tier one activity. Okay. Next is UPenn and Columbia. They are hustlers, right? They are go-getters. They want a student who's like kind of a go-getter, who does like a lot of different things, who's put their fingers in different pies, but still have been able to kind of bring it all together, right? Like a startup or a fintech tool or things like that. Columbia and UPenn loves it. And I'm going to show you shortly Icha, she got into Columbia. And yeah, her passion, her research was on the prefrontal cortex, how neurodivergent kids and all that kind of research that she did. She's in Columbia. Like she got into Columbia, and UPenn had a student who was like a chess aficionado, and a student who had created a startup. Right. So that is UPenn and Columbia. Okay. Now, I'm just going to ask you a question. Now, which college fits your personality? Anyone? Anyone wants to answer this question? Uh, which school's personality fits you best? Okay, that's the question. So which school's personality fits you? Okay, so wow, UPenn, Stanford, Yale, and Brown, the artsy kinds. UPenn, Georgetown, fantastic. I'm going to show you all my Georgetown kids and what they did. Okay, yeah, wonderful. Stanford and UPenn. Okay, very nice. Hustler. Oh, very nice. MIT, very nice. UPenn. Okay, so let's proceed. And I will answer your questions towards the end because I do have ADHD. And if I start answering your questions, I will not be able to go through this fantastic presentation that I've got going, right? So that's why. So you have to just hang in there until I finish. Okay. So here we go. Decoding the reality of 2026 admissions, right? And okay, so the reality check, the floor, the floor. You've got to have excellent GPA, upwards of 10 APs. If your school has 35 APs, 15 of them should be in your transcript. That's like the ballpark. Okay, so my son graduated with 20 APs, right? He shaved off and he graduated from Georgia Tech in 3.5 years with a master's, right? So that's like the school rank is dependent on how many APs and the everything, right? So there's a kid who has 20 APs. So that is like class rank 1. Anybody with 19 would be class rank 2. If anybody upseats them, then it goes like that. So the floor, the basics, is like upwards of 10 APs, 1550 in SAT or ACT. Personally, I feel like ACT is better than SAT. Then like they don't want kids who are like dabblers, right? They don't want kids who have like standard run on the mill tier 3, tier 4 activities, which is like standard clubs and sports, right? So they don't like that. And grades, and this is something that I want you to remember, is that one thing that you can take from today, I'm going to say this 10 times, is grades and scores will only get you noticed. Extracurricular activities get you accepted. Okay, are we clear here? You need grades and test scores to like kind of get inside, but then for the admissions committee to pick you, it's the extracurricular activities. Are we clear? Yeah, are we clear? I just want a confirmation here before I proceed. Okay, does this make sense? Okay, yeah, of course. Of course. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to continue. We got that right. Okay, so truth is, of course, okay, next. So let's talk about the filtering system. Like I told you, the admission officer has 8 minutes, just 8 minutes, and come back tomorrow and day after. I am going to show you an application and I'm going to show you where the admission officer is going to spend time, right? So it has to be scroll stopping. Your application has to be scroll stopping, right? And we've seen that students are invisible, right? What is being invisible? It's like they're just blending in. They're not standing out at all, right? And having a tier 1 extracurricular activity. I keep talking about this tier 1. I'm going to explain that. I'm not sure if it's today or tomorrow. There are 4 tiers. Okay, tier 1 is like the topmost, top notch. It's like the rare, exceptional extracurricular activity, which is like national award, news coverage, like going and presenting in a conference or things like that. Tier 2 is not as significant as tier 1, but it's still good, right? Tier 3 is like club leadership, right? You founded a club or something, it's tier 3. And tier 4 is participation, clubs. They all come under tier 4. And what colleges are looking for is that tier 1, recognizable, something that cannot be ignored, right? And that is the filtering system. It has to be a scroll stopper. Okay, the regional admission officer has got to stop and say, yeah, I need to pitch this to the admissions committee, right? So that is the 8-minute clock or the filter system, right? And next is the spike. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of the spike, right? Which is what is superbly important. So the tier one status, a typical student is going to have one tier one, mm, like very rarely another tier two, multiple tier threes, and a lot of tier fours. Or okay, so that's what it is. You typically have one tier one activity. Okay, sometimes you have two tier ones, which is like very, very rare. You kind of own your niche. You become a specialist in your cause area. Get it? So that's something that's very, very important, right? And you've got to show the proof of your work. I keep saying that the proof is in the pudding, right? You've got to show tangible, measurable outcome, right? Oh, I'm a domestic violence policy advocate. What did I do? I tried to get a policy brought into Pennsylvania, which is like 3 times a sexual assault person strikes has to go to prison. It's not there in Pennsylvania. I'm trying to work with the senators to get it done, right? So there's proof of work there, right? Or, oh, I did the suicide prevention. I conducted a walk on Harrisburg Bridge. 200 people showed up, a lot of news coverage. I'm all over the news. Okay, I've written op-eds, right? So that's the proof of work that you've got to show. And that's the birth of Spike. Spike is your brand, right? What do you stand for? Like I said, the admission officer has to summarize you in like 60 minutes or like a single tagline. So it's got to be like so crystal clear, right? So can you tell me what is it that makes your resume feel like you've got a spike or you feel invisible? How do you feel about your profile? Do you feel invisible or do you feel like going to get noticed? Anyone? Yeah? Anyone wants to share your thoughts? That's what most people do. Invisible. Yeah? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyone? Cross country. Okay, good. Invisible. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yes, so we are on the same page. We don't want to be invisible. We want to have an unignorable spike, right? Something that an admission officer can pitch. And also, what happens is the same student gets multiple offers, right? That's what I've seen happening is once a candidate has an exceptional tier one activity, they get acceptances from everywhere. Stanford, BSMD program, everywhere, right? And we see that happening a lot. The same student would have gotten into Columbia, U Chicago, and all other colleges. You get it? So that's how it is. Once you build that kind of spike, you're kind of appealing to all the top tier colleges. Get it? So that's how it is. Okay, so I'm almost there. I'm going to explain a lot more things later, but I just want to make sure that you understand what it takes. Today, I discussed about the 8-minute filter. I discussed about how not to be invisible, and I'm going to show you case studies or like passion projects, like kind of tomorrow. That is there. Okay, and somebody asked me if I'm going to share the slides. No, I'm not. This is like proprietary information that I have created. You can go watch the recording, but you ain't getting slides. Okay. So you got to be here. You got to answer your homework and everything. So we can get to that. Okay. Anne, do I have your permission to reveal our success formula? We do have a success formula, a success like a blueprint, which we use on students to get to the top thing. Okay, so here it is. We have some unique solutions. We offer research programs. You may think, it's like Polygens or Lumiere, but our research programs are entirely different, right? We offer cancer, neurology, diseases, and our research is offered by full professors, right? They are not PhD aspirants. Please remember that. Right? We have research that we offer in finance, economics, political science, mathematics, government, bioinformatics, data science, biomed, just name it. We have a professor to work with your child, okay? And the way we conduct a program is the student is going to learn deeply from the research expert and write a research paper. So again, it's an outcome. So what do students get from our program? Number one, it's they get to put the professor's name in their resume. Number two, they are taught how to write a 4,000-word research paper. Colleges love academic research papers. We make them submit their thesis defense as well. They get one-on-one mentorship. They get research internship, and they also go to conferences to present their presentation. One of our students got the top 10 poster award in an API conference. So this is how our program is to make a student's profile tier 1. Okay, we also offer a lot of college counseling. We have split that into med and non-med. Right. We have the BSMD and the non-BSMD. Everything falls into that. I've had students who've gone into nuclear engineering, actuarial science, business, economics, computer science, BSMD, just about any major that you can think about. Okay, we also offer internships. This is in summer. We offer a social media internship where we train students for 30 days and then we place them in businesses. So when I grew up, when I was growing my business, I could not afford real human beings. I used to work with teenagers and they would like help me create so much content. And of course, these high school students can write tremendously. They used to write blogs, emails, create presentations. I mean, one of my carousel on scholarship became such a hit, and it was created by an 8th grader. Right. So that's how it is. We also offer research internships. Students who finish research with us, they come back to our program and mentor 2 or 3 other students in their research. Okay. And we also have a nonprofit where we run different initiatives like sustainability, where students track or create a project for 30 days. And then they write a blog and their project is presented and posted on the website. Okay. So how do you register? It's giftedgapper.com. And everything is available. Somebody was asking about the research. You can check out on our website. So successfully published research paper, they either get a DOI link or they get a unique link that you can put it in your resume. Sorry, this is the past research. You can go in there. For example, if you go in here, this paper was successfully published, and you will see this DOI link where the admissions officer can see the abstract and review the research paper right here. So this getting it published takes about 6 to 8 months, and this is how comprehensive our program is, and that's what we have. Okay, and I'm almost there to take your questions. Just give me a moment while I wrap up. Okay, so it's giftedgapper.com. And so your assignment for today is identifying the gap. Identifying the gap or the problem. Okay, so what is that problem that you want to identify in that? So the homework is either through WhatsApp is, what is a specific gap or problem in your town or in your school or in your community that you want to fix? How are you going to map your talent? Right? And that's what it is. And I want you to submit your problem statement in 3 sentences on the WhatsApp, right? Or anywhere else. And you will get some freebies from us if you finish all your homework. Get it? So that is the homework for today. And I'm going to answer the questions. Okay. Okay. So will we get access to the slideshow? I'm so sorry. It's our intellectual property. We do not share slideshows. You can watch the YouTube link. Where is my YouTube link? You can watch it on YouTube, which is right here. We will post it on the WhatsApp group as well. So you can go in there and watch it again. Okay, so that's a question there. Is there a cost and tuition to your program? Absolutely, right? Of course, it's all paid. It's different. Each program is different. So if you can share your phone number, we will get a call back from our team, right? And everything is on the website. You can schedule a free call with my team, and with me, it's a paid call. You can schedule a paid call with me as well. And I can go over your child's profile and give you advice. We have counselors from UC Berkeley and UC Irvine. So anytime you can kind of okay. WhatsApp group. So I'm just going to quickly share the WhatsApp group. Hold on a second. Where is the WhatsApp group? Oh, right here. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly share. Oh, how do I get the WhatsApp group link? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, thank you. Wait, so Lauren, they want the WhatsApp group for, okay, I got it here. Uh, continue. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Hold on. Copy link. Okay. No, okay. So this is the WhatsApp group to join, the 3-day challenge. I hope that's the question that somebody was asking on the chat, right? Uh, what does University of Michigan look for? Come back tomorrow and I'm going to show you my son's complete application. He's in UMich, LSA honors program in political science. Come back tomorrow, right? How much is the cost for consulting for a sophomore? The link is right there. You can check that out, and we can go from there. Okay. Yes. And okay. So let me look at other questions that I have, and also people who wanted to. Okay. So Ashrit, you can go ahead and I promoted you as a panelist. You can unmute yourself and speak. Sai, you can also unmute yourself and speak. I've given you an opportunity. Ashrit, you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask a question? Yeah, still waiting on you, Ashrit.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi. So I have a couple
Just
questions.
speak quickly. Hustle, hustle. We have a lot of people.
I'm wondering what's the biggest thing that I should do to get into a BSMD program?
Great. You have to join our webinar on Wednesday. I'll give you the correct blueprint. 6
Okay,
things. Hmm?
sounds
Right?
good.
So number
Yeah.
one, grades, test scores. Okay, volunteering, about 100 hours, shadowing a physician, research, biomedical research, we offer that. Fit to major, you need to, if it's neuroscience, then you've got to show 3 or 4 activities that kind of align with neuroscience. And of course, the wow factor of extracurricular activity. These are the 7 factors for BSMD. But if you come on Wednesday, honey, I'll teach you all about the BSMD. Wednesday is my BSMD program. Okay, fantastic.
Thanks.
Okay, so Reza, you want to ask your question?
What does Cornell look for?
A lot of things. I went over the whole thing. Do you have a tier 1 extracurricular activity? Have you done something to solve a problem in the community? What problem have you solved?
In our school, Asians are often represented and they're often bullied. So I created a program that prevents bullying and stuff.
Okay, so don't get into controversial thing. What major are you applying in Cornell?
Neuropsychology and just
Okay, then the activity has to be with neuropsychology. What have you done for neuropsychology that's tier 1?
I've volunteered at hospitals.
It needs to be a project, Han. Yeah, volunteering is good, but have you done something to establish yourself to solve a particular problem, right? A cause area. Get it? So it is like solving a problem, and I'm going to show you what a problem solving is. Okay. Now I'm going to show you Isabella. Now I'm just going to quickly share about what Isabella. Okay, so Isabella is an equestrian, but she uses horses to help neurodivergent kids. Get it? So if you see here, she conducts a lot of events. She has game days with therapy horses. So what is that problem that you're trying to solve? What is the tangible, measurable outcome that you're doing to solve that problem? That's a tier 1 extracurricular activity that Cornell is looking for, and we can help you build that. Get it? Okay, Sai, what's your question? Okay, Sai doesn't want to ask the question, then we'll go on to the next one. Okay, so the question is, does dual enrollment add value to the admission process, generally speaking? It's just one of the component, right? Dual enrollment, what is it? It's just a course that gives you a college credit, right? So It's not that significant, but it's okay. If it's offered, just okay. I have tier fours, all the news coverage through the walkout. Okay, great. Can you cite examples of platforms where students have published research? I just shared with you, we have GSR, we have IJHSR, we have NSS, JHS. We have a lot of journals that accept, and it depends on whether it's a STEM paper, an economics paper, a political science paper. We have different journals that we help students write and publish their paper. What schools look for architecture? Oh my God, I have a degree in architectural engineering. So yes, so you need to have a portfolio, hun, and you need to know how to draw. So they're going to give an assessment to draw in architecture. So RISD, Rhode Island School of Design, you need to create a portfolio for architecture. Right? Like you should have like sketches, 19 pieces of portfolio you need to have to submit for an architecture. And of course, if you know Frank Lloyd Wright, Frank Lloyd Wright was the greatest architect of times. And Falling Water has a summer program where you can create a portfolio. So they're looking for a portfolio, right? They're looking for evidence that you're interested in architecture. Right? You can go and intern with an architectural firm and everything. You just need to know how to draw all your sketches. It can be photography, it can be digital art, it can be sketches. You need to create a portfolio for that. Great question. Okay, and what kind of passion projects do UPenn look for? UPenn is looking for something that is very impactful for the community. Right. So yes, you need to have like a top tier problem solving. Okay, I'm just going to show you another tier one extracurricular activity that Harshwa created. Okay, so this is Harshwa. He created this. So if you see here, Harshwa is a non-STEM student, is a political science student. So he feels that social media corrupts Gen Z a lot. And what did he do? He wants to see how the media is kind of changing their whole opinion. He's from Coppell. So what he did was we introduced him to journalists, then he took it off from there. He interviewed journalists, he was featured on things, and he conducted a lot of webinars and everything. So these are the kind of activity that UPenn is kind of looking for. Okay, something that is real. They're looking for tangible, measurable results, right? And this kid like really did a lot of it. Okay. So that's what UPenn is looking for. Could you share an example of a political science or research paper that's not controversial? I don't have that at the moment. My son is a political science major. So like we have different options. It can be international affairs or American history or anything, right? But I would like to veer away from sensitive topics, right? You don't know who the admission officer is, whether a conservative or a liberal, right? So you've got to be very careful in the way you build your profile. Okay. I had a student who kind of wrote an entire Common App essay on how abortion should not be banned. I'm like, dude, you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to kind of take such a strong stance in a Common App essay. Yes, students want to express themselves, but you've got to do it in a politically right way and not kick off people. You get it? Great question. Is 8th grade too early to start a passion project? Absolutely. Their left brain is still developing, right? So 8th grade is where you need to develop study skills, right? So that they can take, like they can know how to be independent in high school. The biggest problem that I have seen students is getting lost in the high school from middle school to high school transition. So develop this. How many students have successfully been placed in the BSMD? Okay, I get a lot of students. So a lot of students, and also it depends. You can ask me like how many students, right? You have to, it depends on the profile, right? A 1450 SAT score is not going to get into a BSMD program, right? So it depends on the profile. But I've got a lot of students who get into the BSDO program, right? So that's our success. Our students get into 7 BSMD programs full ride, right? So that's how we build it. Would Eagle scouts for be tier 1. It depends on what project that they do. I know all about the Eagle Scouts. They need to do a project, right? So it depends on what that project is. You cannot say, oh, I'm an Eagle Scout, it's tier 1, right? It's that outcome that is there, okay? If a student is interested in a career in business, what kind of project? Oh, great. Thank you for asking the question. I'm going to show you what my student did for business. Now, this is Eric. So what Eric did is, Eric is kind of a hustler. So he already had a secondhand store. Basically, this is Eric. He already has a store which he kind of sells. He calls it it's like secondhand clothes that he sells there. But then you guess what he did? He conducted a research on whether is sustainability really profitable to a business? You understand? So he did research on that. Like, is it really cost effective? Can they really compete against fast fashion and the sweatshops that are there, right? So we do ethically good research in that, right? I had a student on finance. What he did is he was from the Cumberland School District. And what happened is Cumberland School District for the past 5 years was in a deficit. So he did research on why his school district is in a deficit, right? And that's how it is. They want problem solvers, right? So this is how you can create a research. And of course, remember, a research needs to be done under a professor with proper guidelines and everything, okay? Which grade is best to start a passion project? So the way we go about passion project is we first have our students finish research, right? Research is the #1 extracurricular activity that colleges are looking for. We want them to have a fit for major or kind of show that they have done many things in that particular major. So we prefer students who finish research to kind of come to us to do the passion project, right? The next step. So the thing is, we want to have multiple activities in that particular area of the field, right? So that is how we build a passion project. What is the exact difference between architectural engineering and architecture? Fantastic. Architectural engineering focused more on the structural and everything. It was not a 5-year program. It was a 4-year program. Whereas architecture is all about drawing, and it does not focus more on the engineering aspect. Architecture, that's the difference. Okay, I studied in India. I didn't study here. Okay, UST offers a dual degree in both. Fantastic. It depends whether you want to go into the engineering aspect of it or pure drafting and drawing in architecture, right? Which grade? Okay, 9th grader. Yeah, we can get a passion project, right? Besides a strong portfolio, what are the tier 1? Honey, I cannot answer a lot of questions right here. You can schedule a call with me. I can go over a profile, where you live, and build you a complete profile, right? This is a bit more generic. I have to work with students. I have a whole team of career and college counselors who will work with you to kind of create a plan, right? So yeah, I started a club in school surrounding public health. Yeah, absolutely. You can start. You can definitely use that as a part of your passion project. Anything. Yes, you can reference your school club and everything. Okay. And I want to show you the tier 1 extracurricular activity. So this is March 14 Live. This student kind of was all over the news. Okay, because he conducted this march in Harrisburg Bridge, and he was on Fox 29 to promote his awareness on mental health. And
what they tried to do actually caused more pain, more stress to that person, to the point where it was kind of embarrassing. And I thought.
So this is like a tier 1 extracurricular activity where he's a teen, he's a protagonist, he's a teen suicide prevention advocate, right? And he backed it up with his action. It was not fluff, right? So that's a tier 1 extracurricular activity, right? Okay, so if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to let you go because you do have to go to work tomorrow. A lot of us in the East Coast, it's about 9:50 now. Research needs to be done before the passion project. I kind of prefer that because you need to specialize in something before you can kind of build a passion project out of it. We have research. You can start it as soon as possible. right? We have biomed research that has already started. Any other topic, we have professors and we can offer research for you. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. It was wonderful. Please don't forget to do your homework, right? What is that gap? Or I need 3 sentences that describes as to what is it, what is the gap? Okay, and that's it. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Wonderful. Please come back tomorrow because tomorrow is only case studies, which is like actual kind of, I'm going to show you examples that worked, right? So I'll see you guys